the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see third-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans as they match up with the second-year man Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Deshaun Watson and the Texans come out here, and they took care of business this past week with a victory over Jacksonville, 26-3, to get to 6-3 on the year. And Deshaun Watson, once again, was really good, 22 of 28, 2 touchdowns. And remember, he got a kick to the face in that Raider game a couple weeks back, still playing with a bloodshot eye.
Not a surprise with him, though, right? I mean, didn't he play with a collapsed lung a couple seasons ago, or was it last season? Remember, he couldn't fly, and they had to drive him to games, you know? So this guy, he's the epitome of toughness. So going across the pond to play a game with a bloodshot eye, no big deal. Put up 2 touchdowns in that one. First quarterback with at least 17 passing touchdowns and 5 rushing touchdowns through his first 9 games. This guy's a gamer.
No gain on the play there, second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
Let's go to the middle of the Baltimore defense where Brandon Williams holds court. And we often talk about how difficult it is to stop a big-time runner. How about trying to stop a big-time guy in the middle who wreaks havoc both with pass rush and against the run? Brandon Williams went to his first Pro Bowl at the end of the 2018 season.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Out of the gun, Watson. He may try and run for this. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson, he's got his tight end. It's Fells. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Watson now to throw. He can run for it. And the ball is out. Watson lost it. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. First go-around coming up here for Baltimore's offense, and that man Lamar Jackson, who may have ratcheted up some of the MVP talk.
MVP.
You starting to coronate already?
Hey, why not? If I'm a Baltimore fan, I would.
Well, that was a heck of a game, heck of a win against New England. And you talk about Lamar Jackson specifically, 163 yards and a touchdown, and 2 more scores running the football.
And the best part about what he does now, because it's on tape, we've seen all the highlight reel plays that he makes. We know the quickness. It makes you change what you do in preparation for him. New England is principally a man coverage team on defense. When you play Lamar Jackson, the last thing you want to be is in a lot of man-to-man coverage with his ability to run the football. Now you've got to do a lot more zones, hoping to slow him down. That opens things up for others.
A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. This pass into the arms of Snead. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Many times as we open a game, we talk about guys who are drafted in the first round, but how about the undrafted players? In this case, safety Tashawn Gibson, who's made the most of his time in the NFL, becoming a starter in the league, and since 2012 has 20 interceptions, the most for undrafted players in that time frame.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. And a screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. How about this for an opening drive decision? You got 4th and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do you do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys will cover for me.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will be from 56 yards out. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Texans taking the field again here. You know, earlier we were talking about their 6-3 start after the win against Jacksonville this past week. That also puts them in first place in a crowded AFC South. And all of a sudden, I think maybe they're looking like the favorite in that division over Indianapolis. What do you think, CD?
I would agree with that for two reasons. One, how about how they absorbed the loss of J.J. Watt, at least for a week, right? They lose him the week before. They travel across the water. They play in London, and they play really well against a good Jacksonville defense and end up winning the season series with the Jags for the 5th time in Bill O'Brien's 6 seasons as the head coach. And the second thing, Deshaun Watson at quarterback. When you look at that division, it has to come down to look at the quarterback position because Jacoby Brissett got hurt for Indianapolis this past week. Who's it going to be in Jacksonville, Minshew or Nick Foles? And in Tennessee, it's the backup Ryan Tannehill. I like Deshaun Watson in that spot.
Upcoming schedule for them, by the way, Charles. They'll have their open week and then a pretty tough road. They go to Baltimore and then 3 tough ones at home against Indy, New England, and Denver. On second down, Johnson. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Back to the ground. This time it's Hyde. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Mr. Hyde, he enjoyed playing across the pond over in London. 19 carries, 160 yards in Week 9. His most rushing yards in a game since 2016 when he was with the 49ers. We're scoreless after 1. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. On second down, it's Johnson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Hyde is the lone man in the backfield here on 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. That time a 6-play drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. for the touchdown. Here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Baltimore's offense takes the field again. Charles, they are at 6-2 after that win against New England. 2-game lead over suddenly a resurgent Pittsburgh Steelers team, and they get to see them again the final week of the season. But what does that win over New England tell you about Baltimore's chances in the AFC?
It tells you a lot. The main thing it tells you is that this is a team that's not going to shy away from the spotlight, not going to be intimidated by New England and all of their Super Bowls and, you know, what they've done this season. But I really enjoyed watching them post-game, you know, watching how they handled it. Yes, it was a big win, and they didn't downplay that, but they also didn't treat it like it was a Super Bowl either. They know they've got work to do, and they figure they'll have to meet New England again in the playoffs. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Ingram. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. DeAndre Carter's deep for the Texans. This is taken at the 15. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. A shotgun snap for Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Let's go.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it's going to be second down. Stepping aside from this game for a second, how about us being in week 10 of the NFL season right now? That makes me want to resurface that MVP talk we had earlier in the year. Who do you have right now leading in the MVP race?
Is this quarterbacks edition only, or can we actually bring other people into it?
Yeah, go wherever.
Because the league does tell you that MVP can be anyone, but numbers show us it's really got to be a quarterback. So let's just start there, right? Russell Wilson in Seattle. I think he has to be a prime guy. I think you have to look at Tom Brady, all right? It's always Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes, if he can get back into the lineup and be his usual self, he could get into this race again and maybe defend his crown. And Aaron Rodgers from Green Bay has really come on in recent weeks despite a stumble against the Chargers this past week. But how about Lamar Jackson? I mean, what he's doing with Baltimore and their win over New England, you've got to have him as a prime candidate. And you know how much I love Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, he's a special one, isn't he?
Oh, he is absolutely special because he does it all. And if they weren't risking injury, he'd run back kicks, too.
Set. 19. 58. Come on. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go.
On first and 10, Watson. He's got Fuller. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now the Texans will use one of their two remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To the air yet again, Watson. And it's caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. From 6 yards away. And the Texans push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Well, hey, we talked about the AFC playoff picture. Let's look at the NFC. That's a different story. You've got Dallas and Philly neck and neck in the East, then Green Bay, New Orleans, and San Francisco as division leaders. But with only 2 more wild card spots, going to be some good teams left out in the cold in January.
Yeah, because right now you got Seattle at 7-2, Minnesota 6-3. They would be in as of right now. But the Rams, 5-3. Carolina, and whoever doesn't win the East out of either Dallas or Philadelphia, this is going to be a heck of a battle, isn't it? People are going to have an effect on this conference with every game that's played, maybe even teams that aren't in the conference. Because if you lose to someone, anyone, it could knock you out of the race.
Watch the slant, watch the slant.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Snead's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans, but then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, Jackson. It's complete to Snead. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And Jackson throwing once more. This one complete to Ingram. Oh, and now some space to operate. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and excited
rare.
is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Switch.
Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins.
Oh, yeah.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Here's Ingram, and he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Ingram. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now it's Jackson. He finds Roberts, complete. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. That'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. On the counter, Ingram. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
He's checking.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. Up to make the stop, the Texans' leading tackler a year ago, Zach Cunningham.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 3rd down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Draw play. Ingram now. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
That's what I do.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Steps away. He may try and run for this. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans 16.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
They'll run here with Ingram. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are back within a single score.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the two-point conversion.
Here we go again. Here we go.
From the gun, Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. I guess the coach looked at the two-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a three-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a two-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now readying for their first possession of the second half. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Out of the gun, Watson. With a catch made by Hopkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Watson now to throw. It's complete to Fuller. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
3rd and long. It's Watson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Hyde on the draw. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 30. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They run high, and he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll run it with Johnson, and they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A gain of 13, it's a 1st down. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
Now Watson, he'll buy some time right. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try the air now with Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to keep it here. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him. So I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal now as they look for that final dagger. They'll run it with Johnson. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. Watson to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So a big one coming here for Kaimi Fairbairn. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 6. A minute 47 on the clock. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. It's caught by Roberts. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Jackson trying to hustle his unit up quickly to the line of scrimmage. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson rolling to his right. He'll try and run it. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And that is caught. He's got his running back downfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. Back to throw. Roberts has it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. He's back to throw. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Texans' 23-yard line. Today's final score.
Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.